Love you guys. Whoa! Okay, sorry. Hi guys, it's Wengie here. Welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be tackling a topic I get asked a lot. And when people I go to parties and meet people and they find out I'm a full-time YouTuber, the first thing they normally ask is, how do you make money? And the second thing I feel like they want to ask, but they're too polite to ask, is how much money do you actually make? Now I've been a full-time YouTuber for 2.5 years now. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but this is what I love doing. I will not swap this for any other career in the world, but that's not what the video today is about, because I'm going to be talking about how much money I make as a full-time YouTuber and kind of how we get paid, so you can understand a little bit more about what goes into being a professional YouTuber. And I know there's a bunch of you now, and I feel like the numbers are growing, that say that they want to be a YouTuber full-time instead of another traditional career, which I feel like is amazing, because this is an amazing job. But I feel like you need to kind of know more about it, and not many people actually talk about what goes into building a channel as well as how much money we get paid. Now, if you have questions about being a full-time YouTuber, please pop them below and I may make another video about that particular topic. But today we are talking about how much I get paid. Just to give you a bit of a background story, I used to be an accountant. From that, I stumbled onto being a social media consultant or manager for an internet marketing agency, and then moved on to being a marketing director of a startup. Now, what you guys may not know about me is, before I jumped into this career as a full-time YouTuber, I was making a very decent salary. Now, my salary was a 6-figure salary. I was paid very well for my age. At that time, I was about 26 when I got that job, and it's an amazing job for an amazing company. And there was absolutely nothing wrong with that job. I just felt like being a YouTuber was my calling, and I loved creating content and being really creative every day. And I've always been a creative person, so this is kind of like why I gave up that really amazing job for this career in YouTube. Also, I want to say that I do live in Sydney, and for those of you guys that have any idea about Sydney, it's really expensive to live here. It's one of the most expensive cities to live in the whole entire world, mainly because our housing is really expensive. You know, food is very expensive. Basically everything is very expensive. So I have a lot more pressure to be making more money on YouTube, because I gotta pay my rent, and rent is not cheap here. Just to give you an idea, right now my apartment costs about $620 a week, just for a really small shoebox. But I love this apartment, so and I have an apartment tour as well if you guys want to check that out. So that will give you an idea of how much money I need to make to actually survive. I also want to let you know, the first year of being a full-time YouTuber was incredibly hard in terms of finance wise. And if you've watched my last year's New Year's video, it was about depression of being a full-time YouTuber. That was basically because of the huge lifestyle change that I had from my cushy job to being a full-time YouTuber. And I was really lucky to have the support of my boyfriend, who was willing to actually pay all the rent and things until I had enough money to pay him back. Now, the great thing is I took a part-time job while being my first year of being a full-time YouTuber, but I scrimped and saved, and I have to say I contributed my part of the rent through my part-time job, as well as some income I made from my YouTube channel. Now, if you're living at home, it's a great way to start, because you don't have the pressures of, you know, paying all your bills and everything. So those of you guys that are starting really young, you're really lucky, because you don't have that financial pressure. If you've read my childhood story as well, my parents are not rich, so I had no support in that aspect either. So moving on, I think there are a lot of misconceptions about being a YouTuber that I really want to tackle in this video, because although there are exceptions, as in there are YouTubers that are earning millions of dollars, that are super famous, that are doing really well, I feel like the media kind of blows it out of proportion, because that happens in any industry. Like if you're a really famous like actor or actress, you get paid like $180 million a year or whatever, and it's a really lavish and amazing lifestyle. But there are also lots of actors and actresses that, you know, are in LA driving Uber cars or waitressing, and just trying to scrape by while auditioning, and they may have a few roles and parts here and there, but they're definitely not living the same lifestyle. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening in the media, because people feel like YouTubers like PewDiePie and, you know, Bethany Motor are really killing it, that all of us YouTubers are, and it's completely untrue. There are a lot of us that, you know, just struggling to pay our rent. The reality is maintaining a YouTube channel actually takes a lot of time. Like, it is a full-time job, especially when you're uploading once or twice a week and also updating all your social media, coming up with new scripts, coming up with new content, making sure you're actually making better and better videos every week. It leaves very little time and energy for you to actually go and get a job. There are a lot of us in the middle that I feel like you guys think that, you know, we're super famous and rich, but we're really not. And I feel like there's a lot of myths in our industry, and I just really want to address them. So the first one is we don't actually get paid for thumbs up or comments or subscribers. So I know a lot of you guys are hearing, you know, please subscribe or please thumbs up or please comment. This is just for engagement, so kind of activity on our videos. We don't get paid for any of these things. Getting more thumbs up does not buy us, you know, a new handbag or anything, but it tells us that we're doing a good job. It increases activity on our video, which tells, you know, YouTube that this is a good and interesting video, which actually helps us because it may get in front of someone new that may discover our channel, like us, and then watch our content from that moment on. So that actually really helps us and supports us, but there is no monetary gain from it. Building on to that, having a large number of subscribers does not guarantee any sort of income and does not make you rich. It does make you internet famous, but you could still be struggling to pay your groceries even though you have, you know, a couple of 100,000 followers, which is a very interesting situation, I guess, that is very kind of unique to YouTube. But we get paid per views and not per subscriber. So even if you have like 500,000 subscribers, you're not making videos very often, and you may not be getting a large amount of views for each video, you won't be paid very much at all compared to someone that may have 50 subscribers and have like a few viral videos that have just shot up on the channel. They may be paid a lot more than you for that month, simply because they're just raking in views. And even if you do want to be a full-time YouTuber, you can't assume after you get to X number of subscribers you will be making a stable income of, you know, a couple $1,000s. It's not true. You have to keep, you know, making really good videos that people would want to watch. You can't rest and just think, oh, I've made it, I've got the subscribers, that's it. So yeah, that's something else you want to consider if you do want to make this a career. It's something that you have to keep working on, and you can't take anything for granted. Even if you're making a decent amount of money one month, the next month you could be making half of that, even with the same number of subscribers, basically due to what kind of content you put out and how entertaining or how helpful that is. Beauty is one of those like categories in YouTube that get paid a lot better than other categories like that are in music or gaming, and they get paid a lot less. And that's something that is referred to as CPM, or cost per milli, and that is the amount of money we get paid per 1,000 views, because there are more advertisers in the beauty industry that are willing to pay for ads online. I know for those of you that are kind of doing it, you guys will understand this. We don't actually get paid a lot, and you continually don't, to at which point I think there's like a tipping point. For me, something that's really important, that if you want to make YouTube your full-time career and you want to get paid, you got to consider other things other than relying on your videos. Creating a business, selling ebooks, I don't know, even relying on things like Patreon if you're like a musician or something to get donations for what you do. All those things are going to be so important for you to be a full-time YouTuber, because you can't just rely on your views and your videos to do well. Because again, if I show you the amount I got paid every month on YouTube, even at the point now where I'm on 800 plus subscribers, it's very easy for next month to just go downhill like this, because I don't know how many views I'm gonna get. I don't know how many advertisers there's gonna be, and I don't know how much those advertisers are going to pay for those ads. And if that all goes down, then our paycheck gets affected. So it's really important for you to have something else that you're growing outside of just your views to actually make this a viable career. Which is why I think if you want to be a full-time YouTuber, a very important skill for you to have is business skills. And I'm really lucky that I was able to learn a lot of that while I was doing my social media, because I was put in positions where it made me think like an entrepreneur, where I had to go pitch to clients and find business from scratch as opposed to just doing the work. And that's really helped me think of other ways to make income from my channel other than just making videos. Other things like affiliate links may help, and all those things will add up, but you have to have more than one method to be making money. And for me, when I had 200 subscribers is when I went full-time, and I would say I was making around $1,000 to $2,000 at that time. Someone with 800,000 subscribers like me, some may earn 1,000 and some may earn 10,000 depending on their whole entire business, what else I have going, how many people are viewing it, and what ads are playing in front of their videos. So I guess it's a very common thing for you guys to know that we get paid for the ads. So those ads you watched previously, those little banner ads on the bottom, we get paid for that. But what you may not know is those ads aren't shown 100% of the time. So a lot of those videos online that say, you know, this is how much a YouTuber is making, is just basically the guess. They're taking the amount of views, dividing it by 1,000, and then multiplying it by this CPM figure that they've guessed out of the industry. That is totally untrue, because not 100% of our videos are actually monetized. So out of, you know, 1 million views, maybe only 600,000 views are monetized, and that we actually get paid for. Which means like people with ad blockers or people that skip out ads, we don't get paid for. The other ways that we get paid as a YouTuber are sponsorships, and YouTubers I feel get a lot of abuse for this. We get labeled sellouts, and I feel like it's completely untrue. A majority of YouTubers, including myself and that I know, really do care for you guys, and we care for our audiences, and we would never ever promote a product that we feel isn't up to standard and that we didn't like. I constantly turn down sponsorships which I feel aren't great products, and I would not put that on my channel. And I feel like this is kind of, the majority of YouTubers do feel like this, and it's really hurtful when we get comments like you're selling out and things like that. We do have to pay our rent, and sometimes we do need to take on sponsorships to pay for this, because as I've mentioned before, like all those ad views and things like that, it's completely unreliable, and most of the time don't even amount to that much money. For a lot of us YouTubers, especially in the beauty category, sponsorships are super important for us. And yes, there are YouTubers that get paid a lot of money for sponsored campaigns, but I feel like the range is incredibly large. For example, I've had YouTubers that I've heard gotten paid like twice the amount of money that I got paid, and they get half the views and have half the subscribers that I have. So I feel like there is really no standard with sponsored campaigns. It really depends on how well your agency or you can negotiate the deal and how much that company is willing to pay you. But just for a general idea, in the beauty category, a normal sponsored campaign can range anywhere from $1,000, and the most I've ever gotten is about $5,000. So that's the kind of range, and it honestly ranges a lot. But having one sponsored or a couple sponsored campaigns a month does go a long way with helping us out. So a little bit more about sponsored campaigns. Again, there are a few YouTubers that ruin it for the rest of us because they just do sponsored campaigns no matter what, but I feel like the large majority of YouTubers will never ever risk their reputation just for a couple of $1,000s here and there. I don't feel like it's worth it because we're here to help you guys and we actually do care about you guys. You guys are like my family. Recently, because I've managed to hit over 800,000 subscribers and had a decent amount of views per video, and I do post videos twice per week instead of once, I've had a decent base of income. I can now pay for my rent with just my ad money, and that's why I've been a lot pickier with my sponsor campaigns, because I've got the freedom to now. Like, I can actually say no and be able to pay my rent, and this is the best position. Like, this is the ultimate position to be in as a YouTuber, and whatever you need to do to be in this position, whether it's, you know, selling an ebook or getting a part-time job, if you are really serious about being a full-time YouTuber, I would consider that, because I would never want to be in a position where I have to sacrifice my reputation to pay the rent. I know this is going to be a true story for a lot of YouTubers trying to climb up the ladder, and even YouTubers at 500,000 subscribers who you think are super famous are struggling to pay their groceries. And there's a really good article that I shared on my Twitter, which I'll link down below, that you guys should really read if you're serious about making this a career, because it kind of, I guess, illustrates the realities of being a YouTuber, and I feel like gets past all that shiny, bright, dazzling news that has been happening lately. You know, PewDiePie is earning X million dollars, this person's earning $48 million. Even I read that as a full-time YouTuber and be like, you know, in my dreams. The thing is, they deserve it. I never look at those people and be like, they don't deserve it. They absolutely do. To be the top of your industry, no matter what industry, is, you know, a really huge thing, and they should be rewarded for it. And in any industry, the top of the industry always makes a lot more money than someone in the middle or the lower. It's just the way the world works. So I know I kind of went through this video and I cannot give you a definitive answer. These are all the factors that go into it, and I have a blog post that, you know, goes into detail about this if you guys want to read it as well. And the other thing I want to be doing is, for those of you guys that want to become a full-time YouTuber, I was thinking of maybe developing a 7-day sort of course for you guys to go through of everything that I've learned, condensed down into like an exercise book or something that you can go into. This will go through things like, you know, what you need to create, the equipment you need, what editing program you should use, and all these kind of technical nitty-gritty stuff. That is an idea of mine. If you guys think that's a good idea, please let me know. I have a link down below if you want to sign up and contribute to this book and give me ideas and feedback on suggestions on creating it, because I feel like it will be very useful for you guys. And if you guys are wanting that, I'm happy to get down and create all that content for you guys. So that link is down below. Let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I usually don't talk about this. I feel like I've shared more about, you know, my financial situation in this video than I have with a lot of my friends. I consider you guys like my family, so I hope this has helped you guys, whether you've been curious or whether you want to make this a career. I hope it's become clearer. Again, if you have any more questions about being a full-time YouTuber, please throw it down below and I'll create another one of these videos answering your questions, because yeah, I really want to give back to you guys for helping me get here. It's been an amazing ride, and at the beginning of the year, I would never have imagined that I will be sitting here right now with so many more family members and friends, and yeah, I'm speechless. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget that I love you guys so much. I'll be making another video on Saturday, which I feel like is gonna be super interesting. So I'll see you guys on Saturday, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye guys, love you.